Thank you very much, Mr Chair. I wasn't intending to take a call on this bill. I actually came down to the House to take a call on the next bill that's on the order paper. However, when I sat down and listened to one or two of the speeches and picked up a copy of the bill and read it, I have to say that I was absolutely shocked and appalled by the piece of legislation that the House is currently debating, and could not sit here in good conscience and not say something about it. Because, Mr Chair, it seems to me pretty fundamental that when somebody is accused of something and when they are facing a court trial, that they should be allowed to be present. There should be no ability to prevent them from being present. Now, if they choose to opt out and they say, look, I'm happy to do it by audio-visual link, OK, I'm comfortable with that. But they should not be forced into the position where the only way that they can participate in their own trial is to be there through audio-visual link. I guess we shouldn't be surprised, given the government's history when it comes to democracy and when it comes to individual human rights. We've seen them do away with local government in Auckland without so much as a second thought for the principles of democracy. We saw them do away with a whole democratically elected council down in Christchurch without so much as a thought, under urgency, for democracy. And we've got a bill before the House at the moment by Paul Quinn, where he wants to remove the rights from prisoners to vote, or should I say the duty of prisoners to vote. That basically sums up the government's attitude to democracy and to human rights. And this bill here, in its present form, is yet another attack on people's human rights. And as Leanne Dalziel pointed out, it is inconsistent. It is absolutely inconsistent with the Bill of Rights. It is inconsistent with the Bill of Rights, and I'm absolutely shocked and appalled. Now, Mr Speaker, generally speaking, I support the idea that audiovisual could be used much more widely, not just necessarily in the criminal justice system, but across the whole of government. Actually, there are huge savings to be made. But we're not talking about a meeting where we're, a teleconference to approve some minutes or to organise the staff social function. We're actually talking about something that can have a fundamental life-altering impact on somebody. Being in a court case, it could be any one of the members of this House. It could be any one of our families. It could be any one of our neighbours or our friends or our constituents. Anybody can be the subject of court proceedings. Anybody. This could apply to anybody. And it could have a fundamental impact on their life. And we are saying, if we pass this bill, that we don't think they should be entitled to be present for those proceedings if they choose that that's what they want. I think that's absolutely outrageous. Now, I do agree that there are some instances where audio-visual proceedings are appropriate. We've talked about, some of the more minor procedural matters that can be dealt with through audio-visual link. I have no problem with that. But when it comes down to a fundamental trial that's in a point of principle, why shouldn't the accused be there and be able to see what's going on, be able to hear in person what other people within that proceeding may be saying about them, be able to hear what the lawyers are saying, be able to read the body language of the people in the court? I don't care what Simon Bridges says. I think body language is important. I actually find we do teleconferences in select committees where submitters come through, and I find the teleconferences in a select committee far less valuable than being able to sit at the other side of a table and actually hear what somebody has to say, to read their body language, and to actually be able to engage in some real meaningful discussion with them. Now, I appreciate that for some of the select committee proceedings, we just have to accept that that's the reality, that teleconferences are the only practical way to do it. But again, it's a whole different scale. What we're talking about here is much more fundamental than that. We're talking about people potentially going to jail. We're talking about a whole lot of things that can have a huge impact, not just on a person's life, but on the life of their families and everyone around them. And as I said, it could be any one of us. And let me tell you, if it was me, I would want to be there in the courtroom to hear what's going on and to see what's going on. And I would not want to be forced to attend that proceeding through a video link, where all I got to see was whoever was controlling the camera at the other end decided it was fit for me to see. I don't think that's right. And I don't think most New Zealanders would actually think that's right. Because I think that if any New Zealander was in that position and they had to make the call, do you want to be sitting and staring at a TV screen, or do you want to be in the courtroom where you can actually see what's going on? I think most New Zealanders would say that they want, sorry Mr Chair, not you, I think most New Zealanders would say that they would like to be present in the courtroom. And I think that it's really disappointing the government are trying to push this through.
I call Gareth Hughes.